Hi, for those of you that are new here, thank you first of all for stopping by. And I am Ashley Pfeiffer. I am the maker behind Stamped AF. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Winnipeg, Manitoba. If you find yourself without a demonstrator and live in Canada, I'd be thrilled to fill that role for you. You can find everything you need to know at stampedaf.ca, and there you can take in a blog post, you can find me on Facebook Live, you can catch one of my videos that I drop every Friday, and best of all, you can catch an in-person event because I'm so witty in person. So come give it a try if you're in the Winnipeg area. So I wanted to make a couple of cards today. I'm using a brand new stamp and die set that are to die for, pardon the pun, but they are so much fun. And I said I wasn't gonna get the matching thinlits, but I did. Lined alphabet. We are gonna make two very fun cards, so let's get our craft on. Okay, so we are going to make two cards. The first one is going to be using the framelits as they were intended. We're going to be making an A2 card. So this is our shimmer card base, and it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'll set that aside. This is going to be our mat. It's beautiful. It's the Share What You Love bundle and just beautiful. So what we are going to do is we have basically three mats here, and I'm using coordinating colors with the DSP, which has that pearlized coating. Isn't it beautiful? So we've got Old Olive, Crumb Cake, and Rich Raspberry. And we are going to be using 3 letters. We're not going to be using the stamps on this one. And just to give you an idea, when I opened my thinlits, there are essentially 4 sides. So this is the piece that we need to make that cascading look that we are going to be making this time. But the tip that I wanted to give you was when you take them out of the packaging, out of this packaging, I don't think I'm going to put these ones on magnets because it would take probably about 4 sheets, and I don't know where I would store them so that they're with the alphabet. But what I did was I took my dark gray Sharpie. I didn't want it in black, but I labeled what each one is, because if you were to just pick this up, you would think, oh, there's the B. But it's not, it's a D. You have to remember that everything is mirror to the way it appears. So just a quick tip. And again, I just did mine in dark gray because I didn't want them to scream. So we are going to be making the word you. So we're gonna take that Y, we'll take the U while we're here. And the tape that comes in thinlits is ridiculously strong, so always be careful with how you take them off that first time. Okay, so this is the mechanism that makes this cascading look, which is what we are going for. And you will see there's a couple of different marks on here, and this, full disclosure, this is the second time I'm playing with this. I made a card this morning just to play so that I wasn't going into this blind. But as I understand it from the Stampin' Up! Video, you can use these lines to line up on your cardstock. And if I hadn't cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4 for my mat, this would be lined up. But you can kind of eyeball it. And for the time being, I am going to be using full mat sizes because I am not entirely sure of how to get what I want without wasting all my paper. So in time, I will figure this out, but this is the first day, so waste not, want not, need not apply today. And this is just some scrap of Old Olive anyways. What I recommend, this is all awkward, I don't like my magnetic platform because I find that it takes away some of my freedom. It kind of decides where it wants to be. So I prefer washi tape. And with washi tape, I always recommend taking some of that stick away so that it doesn't wreck your cardstock when you take it off. And you just stick it to your hand. Get yourself all sticky. Try not to bend it over like that, but it'll still work. Now, this mechanism, you may notice, has an oval there and kind of a Frankenstein knob there. I don't know what that shape is. Not even a rectangle. Each die has that same coordinating pattern. So the round part on top and the flat part on the bottom, which is how you line this up. So you lock it in there and run it through your Big Shot. And just making sure that these are not sticking out. That would not fare so well while it's going through. So far I have found that just rolling it through once is enough, but we're gonna do it twice so that it comes back to me. Look at that. A beautiful letter Y. So you can see already, it's gorgeous. So we will take this part off. Whoops. Perfect removal of the washi tape. Now this part you can see we aren't using it anyways, but it's still a good tip. When you're using washi tape, make sure that you take some of that stick off. So now, instead of freestyling this, we are going to determine where we want the O to be. And we want them cascading. Or I do. You may not, but once you have your own, feel free to do what you'd like. So we're just gonna kind of, again, eyeball that. Right now, it is nowhere near those lines that I had the first time, so just lift that up. There we go. We'll secure our washi tape. And through the Big Shot it goes. You will not find a whole lot of videos with this bundle yet. So I hope that I can provide some tips to make this easier for you. There's that. Oh, and see, by running it through twice, it is coming apart without me having to touch it, because this morning it was not. So run it through twice. So there's, hey, yo, Adrian. Sorry, that was cheesy. Remove this. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I do not throw these out. I will use it for something. I probably won't use this part where you can see that, but it could be used for something. Okay, and again, not going to eyeball it because I am not familiar enough with this yet. So let's figure out where we want that U. Probably about there. And I think you could probably do 4 letters without any issue. More than that could be pushing it. Scoot it over just a tiny bit. And again, I'm lining up those little notches. And you can hear that that kind of locks into place. Making sure to keep it away from the edges. Sometimes you can get, I know I can, get a little cocky, for lack of a better word, thinking that I know it all, but these cutting pads are not forgiving. So if you put it in the wrong spot, you're gonna hear about it. So look at that. How beautiful. And these are all lined up. There won't be any kind of bumping or anything. Oh, isn't quite far enough. And I have seen one video by another Canadian demonstrator where if you don't quite measure out where your letters are going, you can end up with them higher, lower. It's kind of neat, but I was looking for a more uniform look on this one. But you can see that took like maybe 2 minutes. And now we have a beautiful card. How beautiful is that? And you can still see so much of this DSP. You're not wasting it all. You could cut that part off, because as of here, we've got an extra layer anyways, but I think for the sake of ease and convenience, I'm just gonna glue the whole thing down. So if you've watched me before, you know that my adhesive of choice is Tombow. I posed this question at a class yesterday asking the ladies what their adhesive of choice is. One of the ladies has crafted with me twice now, once on Friday night and once yesterday, and we all agreed that each adhesive has its purpose. However, if it's the choice between Tombow and Snail, they're definitely choosing Snail. And that was how I started, but my upline convinced me to go with Tombow, and I have not regretted it once. You can get, I haven't counted, but my upline Diana says you can get easily hundreds of cards out of a bottle of Tombow. So I find with Snail and any kind of adhesive runner, it seems like every time you turn around, you're out of adhesive again. Isn't that stunning? It took no time at all, and whoever you give the card to is gonna think, one, they're not gonna believe you that you made it yourself, and two, once you finally convince them that you did, they're gonna think it took you hours. You could literally have gotten an invitation in the morning or the afternoon and make this for your hostess that day, and no one would know. I think I'm gonna leave this as is. You could certainly emboss, dry emboss all of them. One of them, the top one specifically, would look great. You can use a DSP for one of the letters. You can dress this up in so many ways. I think if I did it again, I would probably put a piece of twine wrapped here, but you know what, maybe we will. Just grab a length of twine here. It's not quite down yet. And if you've watched some of my other videos, you'll know that well, one video in particular, you can use dental floss to lift your adhesive. So this is kind of that same thing. If you had secured your card mat down and decided that you wanted a little something extra, you could do that. I want this piece to lift a little more without getting a severe paper cut. You could also just tie a bow on the outside without wrapping it around. I'll tighten that up a little bit, but easy peasy. And I will be doing a class with both the thinlits and the stamps, so if you are interested in attending that, just leave me a comment below. Also, if you don't already, subscribe below and click that bell and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video, which on my current schedule is every Friday morning. So that's that one. Looking at it now, I might move that Y over if I were to do it again, but for a first try, really not bad. To the second card, and this one we are going to stamp and die cut. And again, it's an A2 size card. I am using a basic black card base, 4 1/4, 5 1/2. It's a top folding card. And with my Share What You Love DSP, I have cut them all to 4 by 6, so I'm just going to trim a tiny bit off of this end. So for this card, I want it to go, whoops, all the way to the top. So a little bit more. I was looking at the wrong number. So there we go. We will attach that down. There's no ribbon or twine or anything going down. And we'll set that aside to dry. And next we are going to cut out our letters. And again, we are going to use the word you. So I've left these thinlits out. I haven't taken this washi off yet. But when I did my sample of this card this morning, I cut the letters out and then I stamped on them. And I think I'm gonna do it in reverse this time, because we typically, as Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, recommend that you stamp first, cut later. So we need the O. We could use the N as the U. And the Y. So I have a clear D block and I'm just going to use Memento black ink. And we are going to start, these are some of the gorgeous new colors. This is Coastal Cabana, Granny Apple Green, and Grapefruit Grove. Love, love, love. And if you are new to Stampin' Up! Or new to Stamped AF, you will know that all colors in Stampin' Up! Have an alliteration. So there is our Y. Oh, I want to show you this cool new product. So this is in the upcoming catalog. This is the chamois, and you can see that at my classes on the weekend, we really used it up. Good. You just keep it a little bit damp and then you rub. Clean. Now, we did talk about how you can clean this with soap and water, but it will never look like it does on this side again. So personally, I prefer the Stampin' Scrub because you can't see how dirty it is. But this is cool. I mean, if I don't want to pull out my Stampin' Scrub, I just have a sentiment or something quick to clean. Done. That's it. And it's just water. All you have to do is dampen it if it dries out. So amazing. I did a project this week that is posted on my blog. It was part of the Stampin' Sunday blog hop, and I used my chamois for that. And I will show you before I forget, because we all know my memory sucks. So this is a little giveaway for my customers. So when I give them their new catalog, and I've had mine coil bound, but this is the new catalog. I still can't show you the inside, but I can show you. I have a lot of things flagged, and I have done these cool tabs so that I know where a new section starts. So you'll see when you get your catalog that these are the colors: Lovely Lipstick, Grapefruit Grove, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Coastal Cabana, Blackberry Bliss, and Night of Navy. So when they get their catalogs, they will also get a little set of these. And these are little page markers. And I can't show you the inside, so I can't put them in. But I did 2 need. So something you see in the catalog and you've got to have it. You put that need page marker on. I've used the 2017-19 in colors and the 2018-2020 in colors. So that is the, well, basic black and then powder pink. And then with Grapefruit Grove, Lovely Lipstick, and Berry Burst, I've got Love with the heart. This is the Tabs for Everything bundle, both the punch and the stamps. And then this is the labeler alphabet. So you can see more pictures of them on my blog. And then the next 3, we put like. It's got the thumbs up. and this is Lemon Lime Twist, Call Me Clover, and Blueberry Bushel. Such a gorgeous blue, totally Facebook blue. And then wish list, so something maybe like these dies that are a big ticket item. You want them, you need them, but it's not in the budget right now. Then just put one of these. So there's some stars on there, and this is Pineapple Punch, Tranquil Tide, and Fresh Fig. So for my customers, my current customers, and if you place a $50 order with me in May and want a catalog, then you will get a set of these too. So I've got a hostess code set up, and you can shop with me at stampedaf.ca. So let's get on to this next card. I don't know where that came from. So we've got our letters all ready to go. We don't need that mechanism this time. We're just going to line them up with some washi tape. Which is easier said than done. I'll just take the tape off of my mechanism here. One piece might be enough, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So we could cut all these at the same time, actually. So I think, so that you're not sitting here watching me cut 3 times, we will do that. I'll just get some more washi tape, pardon my reach. I don't know if you've noticed, but there was not an awkward transition from my face to the project, and that is because I got my new mount finally, and I do have an affiliate code for you. If you want to order one of these, you can use the code StampedAF at archon.com. Now the only unfortunate part of these dies is you will never be able to use them as a negative, because this part is always going to be there. You'll never get a solid image. But it is better than fussy cutting the whole thing. And the large letter thinlit dies are definitely on my wish list. I hemmed and hawed about getting those over these, but these are new and so few people are using them, so I wanted my viewers, my faithful viewers, to be able to see a demonstration of them. There we go. Another thing I'd like to mention is if you are in Winnipeg or the area, there is a catalog launch on June 7th. You have to register. It is $65 with late registration. Early registration, which is tomorrow and Tuesday, is $60. And in case there's any sticker shock there, you are getting $60 worth of product in your goodie bag. So you are essentially getting them for free. You get to try some new products, you get make and takes, and your goodie bag, of course, and some snacks, and the expertise of 5 amazing demonstrators, me being one of them. So if you are interested, just send me a message, or if you don't already like my page on Facebook, come and do that, and you will see the event posted there. It's an event I'm attending right now. I'll publicize it so that you can find the link, but I have only 10 spots available, and I have a few already that are I'm just awaiting payment for. So if it's something you're considering, then act fast. The link goes live tomorrow morning. You're not gonna want to miss it. I would go as a customer if I could, but I'm going as a demo. So you'll see new product sample boards, So items that you haven't even seen yet, you'll have ideas before you even get the products in your hand. It's so much fun. Okay, so there are our letters. We'll start building our card. So these are going to go on here, and I've told you the colors are Coastal Cabana, Granny Apple Green, and Grapefruit Grove. And these are our new stamp pads. So much more compact than the old ones. I'll pull out my Bermuda Bay. You can see that they are thinner, they are shorter, every way possible. They are smaller and better. They have a very tight grip, so there is no air getting in there, and you basically just open it like a compact. Slide it, and there is another bonus of this set, but I haven't had time to do them all yet. Now, these are new ink pads. They will be easier to open going forward, but I mean, these ones, it's the second time I'm using them. So this is that added feature, is there's an extra blank on the bottom, not on that one, but this part here is blank, so you can put it in the finger tray and know which color you're looking at without the lids being open, closed. You know what I mean. So we are gonna take a fun little piece from the Love What You Do stamp set. We are gonna mount that on our D block because it's the only block I have handy right now. And we are going to just move the big shot out. There's one more thing I have to cut, but I don't want to take it out yet. So we're going to ink that up, stamp it off, and just put it on here a couple of different times, and you'll see why. It's way too juicy if it's not stamped off, so be sure to turn it so you don't have your pattern in the same way every time. I'm gonna ink it up one more time. Beautiful. Wipe it off on this handy dandy chamois, and it's, I mean, it's so barely damp that you don't even need to dry it off. Oops, went to the Granny Apple Green. Grapefruit Grove, stamp that off. The Grapefruit Grove I don't find is as juicy as the other two, but I don't want to have like a huge block of color and then subtlety all around. So there we go. Clean that off. I'm going to put these away. I don't know about you, but I clean up as I go. If you're new here, you wouldn't know that about me yet, because you never know when you're gonna drop something or put your hand in something, so I clean up as I go. Oftentimes I am too prepared and it turns out I need that again, but okay, so you can see what we're doing there. You could do any number of colors, they don't have to be like that, but the reason I am doing that is because this paper, if you can see it, has that same idea where it goes outside of the circle. So that's why I stamped them in black, because I want this paper to be reminiscent of the DSP that it is in front of. So there we go. We have a couple more steps before we assemble it. The first one being the decorative ribbon border. And if you haven't used one of these before, let me be the first to show you a trick. So just line that up there. And then you're going to line it up with the grid there. And this will be a little more obvious the next one that we do. You'll see what I'm trying to line up. So we're going to slide it over. And you can see that when it matches this pattern that doesn't have the metallic behind it, you are in the right place. So there we go. There's one. Doesn't really matter where you start, just make sure it's not right at the edge. Line that up. And this is one of our punches that I do not use upside down. This way all the cutoffs go on the table. And we are going to be, I'll line this one up again. So you can go both ways too. You can line it up on this side as well. And there we go, free and clear. So that is just going to go on both sides of this. You're getting the gist. And then for our last piece of die cutting, I'm not going to move the big shot back in. You've probably got the hang of the big shot by now. Apparently I don't. Yeah, doesn't want to come out. So we're going to put that there. And hopefully that doesn't detract too much from it. And then there's one more step, and then we'll assemble all this. Take out some white pearl accents, and these are retiring, so if it's something you've been thinking of, grab them before May 31st, before they're gone forever. I'm going to take a piece of this rich razzleberry twine from the Nature's Poem bundle, and this twine is very thick, so every time I've been using it I take it apart, and all you have to do is spin it a little bit and it'll get it going. And I like to take them apart in twos. There we go. So we're going to take those, wrap them around 3 fingers, pull one tight, pull another one tighter, and if you know which end it is, great. If not, just pull it back. Kind of like the way that's looking. We could wrap this one more time to give us a 4, and then grab a glue dot, put it together. I like to put one on the back and one on the front. Oh, we may need one more. We've got some that wants to go rogue. Okay, we'll trim off those extra ends. You could leave them on there if you wanted, but I do not. One more glue dot. This stuff is being tricky today. Chances are once it's underneath, it's not going to come apart anyways, but I'm gonna scoop all that off of there now that we've done all that placement. This glue dot does not want to come off my thumb. I think one more for good measure. Like I said, this stuff is really thick. You could always put a little blob of Tombow there too. Or some washi tape or some Scotch tape. We're gonna put a little bit of washi tape, because the one I did this morning did not give me this much trouble. There we go. Okay, so what we'll do next is just run a little line of glue along the bottom of this. Doesn't need to be perfect, no one's gonna see it, just as long as it doesn't have so much that it's seeping out. Put that as close to your edge as possible. you want to be able to see these dots. I've got a little bit of extra glue there, but we can use an adhesive eraser after the fact. There we go. And we're going to put this on dimensionals. Grab 3. 1, 2, 3. Remember to place that down in the order that your letters are in. You don't want to have, unless you are mixing up your colors intentionally. I want to have my Coastal Cabana there. I'm not going to put these on dimensionals. I'm just going to use a bit of Tombow. Place it in the center. Whoops. There we go. We'll just put a couple of dabs on our amazing. And you can put something on that. We could just put the stamp case. Well, I'm showing you the next part. We'll have that on there. Okay, now for a really cool trick. Take a black Sharpie. Doesn't even have to be a Sharpie brand. This is like a Dollarama brand. Take your perfect pearl, oh, well, not pearl, your perfect white accents, and color it with your Sharpie. Now all I have is the small and the large, so we'll do one of each of those. Now you could color this with blends, you could color it with a Sharpie, you can do this with pearls, with rhinestones, so many things, but look at the shine. It is amazing. So this is the last step. Use your paper piercing tool, pick that up. I think we'll do them on the outside. And that's it. Isn't that beautiful? So, in about 20 minutes, we've made 2 amazing cards with these thinlits. So I hope I have inspired you. I hope I have inspired you to buy these amazing thinlits. It's called the Lined Alphabet Bundle, or the Lined Alphabet Stamp Set, and the Layering Alphabet Edgelet Dies. So if you live in Canada and now can't resist having this set, please shop with me. Again, you can find me at stampedaf.ca, and I hope to see you soon.